Hello everybody and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Now today we're going to be doing another, and yes, yet another thrift store and garage sale finds video. And despite the fact that I just found some stuff at one of my local thrift stores a week ago, and I uploaded a video last week on this, I went out to another local thrift store of mine and found a few more things. And this is probably going to be a very interesting video and a very cool video to some of you guys who have seen my $5 PC video. As you can probably tell from the title, this video is going to be basically the $5 PC V2 or 2.0. It's going to be titled something like that. But before we get into the actual PC, I do want to go over a few other, actually one other thing that I did get from this haul. And I'm not going to spend that much time on it because I do want to, devote most of the time of the, in this video to the actual PC. But I do want to briefly mention that I picked up this Asus A7 V333 motherboard for $1, and that is right, I've got this for $1. Basically, the guy was not really able to test anything, and I can see why. This is a somewhat older motherboard. I believe this is from the early XP era, maybe late Windows 2000 era. There's no actual date on the actual box, but you'll see things like the AMD Athlon XP, which I believe was from around the Windows XP era, and it's also USB 2.0 ready. So just to give you a kind of brief time frame. But yeah, this was and this I have checked. This is the actual motherboard that is inside of here, and actually, yeah, designed for XP. Extreme performance. So according to Google Shopping, this came out in November 2002. So that is a year after, almost a year after Windows XP came out. So that gives you a brief time frame of where this actual board is from. But let's just actually get into the box here. There are a few little extras in here. So we do have a empty bag here. Here is the actual board itself. We'll get into that later because I will actually be taking it out of the box. And here is a bunch of stuff. So we have the Asus quick setup guide in English and a bunch of other languages as well, which is probably just going to tell you how to put. Oh, a bunch of stuff is falling out. It's probably just going to tell you how to put the board into your case and maybe put like a bunch of stuff or like all of your other components into the actual motherboard. And it does tell you what you get in the box. So we should have the board itself, which we do, a 180 conductor IDE cable, 140 conductor IDE cable, a floppy disk cable, 2-port USB jacket, a bag of jumpers, the guide, which we have a CD and a user's manual. So here's the user's manual, which I don't think many motherboards come with this long of a user's manual anymore, if any user's manual. But this kind of goes through and tells you all the features. There's going through like all the BIOS screens and everything, chip configuration and everything. So there's a lot of good stuff in here that if you were installing the board from this time period, you would probably have to use this manual to get everything configured correctly. So we have the two IDE cables right here. This is a USB bracket thing, but I'm trying to see. 2-port USB bracket. So we are missing the floppy disk ribbon cable, unless this right here is a floppy disk ribbon cable. I mean, it's not really like a big deal. I just wanted to see what was in here. We've got that. We've got the CD, and we've got the little frame for your case. Let's just kind of put this stuff back in here because this is kind of boring probably for you guys to listen to. Because it's just a bunch of cables. But let's actually take the board out of the sleeve here. I'm going to try to be very careful with this. So there we go. So you will notice there is actually some RAM installed on here. That was one of the things that I first noticed. We got two slots, 2 out of the 3 slots of the RAM are filled, and there is no CPU. So what I'm going to be using this motherboard for, I don't really know yet. Would I sell it? I mean, I can't really sell it if I, can't test it, but if I get a, older PC in that has a bad motherboard, this would probably be I have a few other spare boards that I know work in this. I mean, it was $1. I mean, and why not? I mean, for $1, and it comes with all this other stuff in the box. I mean, I just kind of figured, why not? But let's get to what you guys are here for, the star of the show, if you will. So when I saw this computer, I was very skeptical on if it would actually work, because let me just actually bring it in here and I'll show you. It's not really that large of a PC, but I'm just going to bring it in here, and you can probably see already that this is a bit of an older machine, as it actually is designed for Windows 98. Right there. This is a Gateway Essential PC with an Intel Celeron. So, there you go. We have one CD drive, one floppy drive. Now, you can see this is of the smaller form factor because, it's small. So for size comparison, because I don't really have anything else nearby, here is the Ooh La La battery case. And so this is a little bit longer than an iPhone, and you'll see that it's probably about 2 of these, maybe less than 2 of these to equal the length of the case. So it's a very small form factor case, but that can be a good and a bad thing. Obviously, it's a good thing because it saves space, but it's a bad thing because obviously there's most likely, I'm going to take a guess, but if I were to look up this computer, I'm going to assume there's most likely some sort of cooling issues that are related to it. Don't quote me on that, obviously, because I don't even know what the model number of this machine is, because actually here it is. This is a Gateway, let me see here, Gateway HV Micro ATX BRY Essential 433C. It was manufactured 5/3 of 2000. This is actually from 2000. So, and it's running Windows 98. That is odd, because Windows Me would have been out by that time, right? I think it would have. So this is probably the tail end of Windows 98 machines. This is obviously a Windows 9X base PC, and this is probably one of the very last Windows 9X base PCs. Basically Windows 98 machines, as I said, to have ever been produced, because with that late of a date, I mean, Windows XP was literally going to come out about a year later. So that is pretty insane. I didn't even see this actual sticker on the back here. I thought this was going to be from like 1998, not 2000. I mean, but yeah, let me just zoom in here, and I'll show you that is indeed 5/03/2000, May 3rd, 2000. So, and I did turn this thing on in the store. I grabbed one of the cables, I turned it on, it did power on. I pressed this button, and I didn't actually think it was gonna work, because this button feels a little bit odd, but it did actually turn on, and I could hear it running. So it works to an extent, or it sort of works, I guess, but I haven't plugged this into any type of display device. I haven't taken the side off of this thing. That's what we're going to be doing in this video. Mainly the reason why I didn't take the side off is because there's all of these different screws here, and I didn't have, because I don't carry around a Phillips or flathead. Before we actually turn this on, and I am sorry, before that I actually do this, I do want to mention that I'm not going to be able to use the AverCapture HD with this, because it only has VGA out, which is one of the adapters that I did not buy. So as you can see there's only VGA. So we're going to have to suffer with the old style, you know, pointing the camera in front of the monitor style thing. But I will be buying a VGA to DVI and then plugging that into the DVI to HDMI adapter that I have to use with that. So hopefully this will be the last time that I have to do this, because I really would actually like to use that, because I spent, you know, like over $100 and I haven't even really used it in a video yet. It looks like that the whole like back of it just kind of slides off. If you guys may not know what I'm talking about, but there were many computer designs from this time that like basically the like entire back panel would come off, and I'll show you what I mean in a minute here. But there's a lot of screws, more than just the, you know, standard one or two that we have today, and they're usually thumb screws today too. That's the other thing. This is, you actually got to get out a, you know, Phillips screwdriver. So there we go. That's not how I wanted to come off, but there you go. So yeah, here's the whole side panel thing, and here's the inside of the machine. And so it looks like we got a, let's see here, let me just put it down on the floor. Yeah, this is a really small form factor machine. We got your tiny, this is a freaking tiny power, look at this power supply. This thing is tiny. What's the wattage of this thing? This is probably one of the tiniest power supply output. 90 watt. This is a 90 watt power supply. Oh jeez. Well, this is great. Okay, well, we got RAM. We got some other cards going on. There's a card right there, which looks like it's a modem card right there. I'm not seeing a hard drive, which really is disappointing, because once again, unless this is that is the floppy drive, I believe. So we got the floppy drive, we got the CD drive, and then up here, I believe, is where the hard drive would go. But I'm not seeing that. Unless there just is a hard drive hidden somewhere that I'm not seeing a hard drive. But everything else looks to be here. So just for, you know, comparison's sake, here is a, what's the wattage on this thing? This is a 200, no, this is a 250 watt, I believe. If I can find, they make the wattage, so it's, yeah, 250 watt power supply. Okay, here it is compared to, you know, of course the wattage is insanely different, you know, but there you go. There's the size. It's a little tiny square compared to this thing, and this was in a HP OEM machine. So this was not bought by me. This is considered a, you know, cheap power supply today. I mean, this is probably, you know, not the highest quality, but this was one of the reasons. This is something that I totally, you know, forgot to mention. But Gateway and E-Machines, as Gateway ended up buying E-Machines, I think it was in the late 90s to early 2000s. They would use basically low quality parts to sell their machines for a, you know, low cost, which was a, you know, good thing to people because they could save money. But they weren't really buying probably what is considered the best, you know, quality. Okay, so we are back. Was finally able to get the case actually back on the you know, PC. It was a, you know, little bit of a, you know, trouble, but I got it back on. I have the light that I was using turned off, so you can see the actual screen a bit better. The audio is still recording, so I'm just gonna reach over here and press the power button. You hear it turn on. I only have a keyboard plugged in, but here we go. So it says Gateway. I heard the floppy drive, and it says hard drive was not found. Consult the troubleshooting section of your user's manual. This problem continues. So we're going to press any other key. You can see that the whole display is a little bit off-centered. So it's going to ask to insert a boot diskette. So I actually have a MS-DOS boot diskette, so let me go and grab that. Okay, so the focus is a little bit off, but this is kind of the best that we're going to be able to do right now. Then I'm gonna try to see in the dark, and I'm gonna try to reach through these diskettes to reach a MS-DOS boot diskette. We got Windows. We can install Windows 3.1 on here. I don't know if that's would really be you know, like a good thing, but you know, there you go. Actually, I'm gonna put like a Windows 95 boot disk because I don't think I have a DOS. That's Windows setup. Here we go. Windows 95 boot disk. Here we go. Of course, this computer isn't designed for Windows 95, but the boot disk would still work. Obviously, this isn't a this is a copied boot disk. But let's just put it in there, see if it doesn't eat the disk. Don't tell me this floppy drive doesn't work, because I have encountered. So let me turn it off. I've encountered so many computers where the floppy drive does not work, and it's a freaking pain because it's just so frustrating. All right, let me just see here. We're going to press the tab key. Okay, well there it is. Now it's booting, or it looks like it is. Like the light's on. Okay, hard drive. Press any other key. Invalid system disk. Okay, well, this shouldn't be an invalid system disk, but if the computer's telling me it is, then maybe it's a bad copy. Well, we got Windows 95 boot disk and startup disk, so I don't know. Let me put in the startup disk, and then we'll. Apparently, you can't press enter because it doesn't work at all. And if this doesn't work, I'll just try the MS-DOS setup disk. You can hear it doing the seek test. Here we go. There we go. Starting Windows 95. There we go. We have a working I'm using a USB keyboard in MS-DOS. That's not really going to work out very well. But yeah, I mean, we have a working Windows 98 box. What I'm going to use this for, probably most likely, is Windows 9X videos, which I might do something on that. I might do like some sort of video series on this computer. I'm not really sure what I'm doing, though. It will probably be a video if I find like an actual hard drive for this thing. I'll probably do like an actual video of me putting the hard drive in and installing Windows 98, because this thing does have a CD drive. But if the CD drive doesn't work, I do have Windows 95 on like 30-something floppies, so that could work. But yeah, this is very exciting, because I've not actually found a working Windows 9X base machine at a thrift store. At least I do not think so. I think all of them have been the oldest that I found were old Macs, and I think the oldest that I found were old XP machines. The previous $5 PC, which I actually still have, was or is a Dell XP machine. So but yeah, this will come in handy for something. It's just nice to see that I can finally get something like this working. And yeah, so that's going to end it off for this video. I just want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.